Hello and welcome to our webinar. Our financial statements tell us if we can survive, but the non-financial KPIs tell us why we survive and how well we're delivering on our mission. This video will help you with defining the metrics that you will need to comply with the new SORP and show you one way to record them using Eden Accounting. I'm Paul Foden, the CEO of Eden Accounting, and a self-confessed lover of management reporting since Kaplan and Norton first introduced their balanced scorecards back in the early 80s. Non-financial KPIs enrich the understanding of an organisation in a way that purely financial metrics cannot. Ideally, the two are combined, and that is what we advocate at Eden. The new 2026 Statement of Recommended Practice requires three sets of financial metrics. Firstly, to measure the social impact of the charity. Secondly, to quantify the involvement of volunteers' hours. And lastly, to measure the environmental, social and governance impact. Now, the level of detail required is determined by which tier your charity falls. While Tier 1 charities, those with income under 500,000, have simplified requirements, these metrics are more important for Tier 2 and Tier 3 organisations, those with income up to and greater than 15 million. However, the SORP leaves scope for you to decide which KPIs are appropriate for your charity. We'll be using our fictitious Nightingale Trust to illustrate our story. This is a Tier 2 charity handling the complexity that comes with the higher income levels. The trust was formed to improve the well-being of medical staff and their patients through the power of singing. The social impact of a charity is derived from its purpose and activities. What problems is the charity trying to solve? What activities and related projects is it undertaking to resolve those problems, and how successful has it been in achieving those objectives? The outputs are the what, the direct activities that the charity delivers. For example, the number of concerts delivered and the number of patients and medical staff involved. The outcomes are the change, the immediate or medium-term benefits to the beneficiaries, the evaluation of the concerts by the audience, and the satisfaction levels of volunteers singing in the choirs. The impact is the difference, the reduction in medical staff absenteeism and leaving the profession through stress, or the value of the improvement in patient recovery times, or the reduction in the costs of ancillary social services. The impact is much harder to measure and is likely to fall to Tier 3 charities to calculate, as they will require a rigorous economic framework to be credible. The SORP requires volunteer hours to be measured against individual projects and thus activities. This is not a financial measure, just the amount of time that they have contributed. Moving on to the ESG metrics, the SORP is silent on which exact ones you should consider. It's up to you to decide which are most relevant to your particular circumstances. Use the list in the Eden Chart of Accounts for inspiration, but do not get carried away. We've numbered, you can drown in metrics, key performance indicators from 9,000 onwards, so they're segregated from the ordinary nominal codes. They're grouped by reporting class to show which area of the trustees' report they apply to. Non-financial KPI data of all kinds can be entered using budget journals, and very helpfully these can be imported using a drag and drop template so that we can prepare them in Excel first. Here's an example I created earlier. There are journals for 3 months as indicated by the different colours, and they're in a CSV format. Let's upload them. In the Journals menu, I select the budget journals. There is a button to import transactions. I browse to select the CSV file from my desktop folder, click Open and Upload. Success! You can see them here in our list of unposted journals. Let's check this one to see that it looks sensible. These are the values that I was expecting, so I'll post them all. We will see the results in our dashboards in a moment. You can upload many journals in one go, so this can be quite an efficient process. I hope that I do not have to persuade you that dashboards are a great way of communicating to your trustees. I would never say that you can remove the detailed numbers, but dashboards bring them to life. This performance KPIs dashboard gives us output metrics about the concerts that the Nightingales have been performing, as well as some outcome metrics looking at how well they've impacted the well-being of the volunteer doctors and nurses and their audience. Scrolling down, we can see how many medical staff are involved and how many we're gaining and losing each month. For these retention metrics, you'll need to come up with some business rules for your organisation to define when a volunteer starts and when they become no longer active. The start might be the completion of their induction training, and they're deemed to be inactive if they've not worked on a project within the last 12 months. It all depends upon the nature of your charity. And according to the type of metrics, many of these can be calculated automatically in Eden with a simple customization. Eden dashboards can have up to 5 user-definable filters. We've just used 3 here. Let's focus in on the performance of the Christie's Choir for their patient concerts this year. As we change the filters, you can see the graphs change. If there are any unusual spikes in the information, you can drill down into the data to see what has created the anomaly. If you wish to go a step further, you can add budgets or targets for the non-financial metrics and compare the actuals against the planned performance, just like you would do with your financial projects or departmental budgets. Incidentally, this dashboard took me less than an hour to put together. Eden dashboards are very easy to build and no harder than Excel on steroids. Why put your non-financial metrics in the accounting system rather than just use another Excel spreadsheet? Well, firstly, they're subject to financial controls. They cannot be changed accidentally without a proper audit trail of who made the change. Secondly, they can be incorporated within the management reporting dashboards that you present to your trustees. So there is a single source of truth and everything reconciles. Now, this is just a taster of the sort of KPIs that might be appropriate for your charity. However, the tools and techniques that we've looked at will apply to any KPIs that you might choose. Remember that they will be part of your trustees' report and therefore subject to the auditor's review, and you must have reliable processes to capture them. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you found it useful. These are my personal views, so please seek professional advice if you are uncertain as what to include for your charity. Please give the webinar a like if you've enjoyed the content and subscribe if you'd like to keep abreast of further 10-minute financial essentials. We expect to produce approximately 1 per week. So see you on the next one. Bye.